And now, a guy who needs no introduction because nobody really gives a shit anyway.
I am not a number. I am a free man.
Here he is with more music, and then after that, more music, and then after that, more music. Just forget it.
Good morning, everybody. You are now tuned into Armor Radio, coming to you live, based out of Spring Hill, Florida. What's going on, peeps? Happy Saturday to everybody. I want you all to join me over here at Spreaker. Head on over to my Facebook page and go ahead and join us for today's show. We have an open chat page inside the show here, so I do want to talk to everybody. We've got a very important show about the Sandy Hook school shootings yesterday. Some of the media that covered it, and some of the media that just decided that their hair and their clothes and their shows were much more important than going ahead and talking about the 26 children and also a few of the school teachers that were shot and who have lost their lives due to a very unfortunate situation, and a very unfortunate individual that decided that these children, amongst others, should not be here to celebrate Christmas with their families. I know I asked some of you out there for beats. Thank you. I was sent over a few by email, and unfortunately I just did not have the time to download. I wanted to be the first on air to let everybody know exactly what the hell's happening, and exactly from a professional FM DJ back in the day. And today, on today's show, and guys, stick with me. I'm not going to use too much foul language because of the sort of show, but I am fixing to slam somebody in another current media out there that I feel is just a waste of space at this time point in the show. We're fixing to take on the Nikki Rich Show and Miss Nikki Rich. The reason I'm taking her on, outside of me, on Twitter and Facebook, she is probably one of the other top-ranked DJs, at least out there in the world. And she also has family members that are actually within the FM community. So riding the shirt tails of others doesn't necessarily constitute you as a DJ. That constitutes you as a shirt tail rider, period. Point blank. Myself, I don't have to ride on anybody because from coast to coast, north and south, I've had enough professional DJ jobs to know the difference. Do I carry that over here with me now? No, not really. Part of the reason is I don't have to worry about the FCC here anymore, nor a station manager, nor any other bull crap that comes along with that. So with that being said, I'm going to flip on over to my Facebook page. Every single person that is listening, I want you over here at Spreaker, okay? Follow the web address that's over there on my Facebook page. You can find me at Armor Entertainment over there on Facebook. Add me, and add me over there at Twitter as well. Armor Radio. Folks, I do about 500 posts a day on the average, okay? And I'm what you call a guerrilla marketer. I don't set my stuff to auto-tweet. I don't have other people tweeting for me. Every tweet that you see comes from me direct. Every email that you get comes from me direct. And every Facebook post comes from me direct. And a lot of my people know that. They've seen me. They've met with me. They know who the hell I am. And they know what the hell I'm about. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pop myself over here to my Facebook page, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at a few things here. Folks, there will be no background music, okay? Like I said, I unfortunately went ahead and thanks to DJ Mark, I don't know where you came from, whether it was Facebook, Twitter. I don't know if somebody else sent it or if you just seen my post. But please, I want to apologize for you. Dude, I was going to play your background track. And like I said, I wanted to be the first on air so I could go ahead and clarify everything. And everybody that listens to me on a nonstop basis goes ahead and checks out my my posts and my Twitter pages and and knows that I don't stand for stupidity, number one, okay? If you're dumb, I'm going to call you on it, plain and simple. It's what I'm about, and everybody respects me for it, and that's the beautiful thing of being me and owning my own station. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I want to get directly to the Sandy Hook school shooting. And the first things that are going to be coming out of my mouth right there is my thoughts, my prayers, and my condolences go out to each and every family member up there. It's a real terrible shame that you folks had to lose your loved ones due to a careless individual that had some very serious mental health problems. My thoughts and prayers are with you through the holidays, and my thoughts and prayers will be constantly with you as you try to deal with the upcoming weeks, months, and possibly years that it's going to take a lot of folks to get over this. I want to say to all of the media individuals out there, mainframe, internet, whatever, thank you folks for trying to continue to shove us out there as far as ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, AP, and the list is long and distinguished, guys. Anybody that was up there in Newtown, Connecticut, thanks to y'all for reporting on this as rapidly as you did. I was actually evicted off of Twitter 3 times yesterday for making some serious posts, and posted about 1,500 posts, and Twitter banned my account due to it. And it actually took a lot of my Twitter friends emailing Twitter tech support, and had my account released very, very quickly, within 5-10 minutes, I think it was, after the first one. And now, with that being said, okay, to the one remaining individual that is left outside of the school shooting, at least for the family member, Ryan Lanza. Dude, I don't really know what happened to your brother. I can say, obviously, there was some pretty tough, family issues, home issues, health issues, whatever you want to call it. I can't necessarily say that, I wish your brother the best, because frankly I don't. What he did to them school children should not have happened, and definitely should not have happened this close to Christmas, because there's going to be a lot of families that are suffering due to this. And it's a real terrible shame. Not only do your family, what's left at least, have to go ahead and deal with all this, but a lot of other folks nationwide are going to have to deal with this. So, the media attention, the law enforcement attention, and everything else that's going to be coming your way. Ryan, I hope that you can handle it. And, please, for whatever situation, I can ask you here from everybody at Armor Radio, please don't flip off the handle. We don't need another scenario. And God forbid this ever happens again. I think what I'm going to need to say is I think all the schools need to go ahead and create a little bit better of an emergency disaster plan for situations like this. As we all know, iPads are really coming out, and they will be the nation's #1 takeover. As a lot of you know, there are certain schools, the majority of them, there's 2 or 3 of them up there in Illinois, that actually will be closing their school doors so that the students will be able to non-stop learn from home. And folks, that's the way our schools are going to end up going, and that's the way the teachers are going to end up going as well. The teachers will be able to teach directly from their home while the students sit directly from their home. That is the #1 and only way we are going to make these kids safe, okay? If we strap the teachers, we've got a problem of, teachers coming unglued and maybe shooting their own students. It wouldn't be the first time, I think, way back in the 80s that happened. There was a student that attacked a teacher, and unfortunately the teacher was packing and clipped the kid. This happened way back in Chicago, near the Greens, where I was born and raised. Anyway, that's enough that I want to take on of that. I've used up about 12 minutes so far. I got about 20 left to the show. I will fire up a second show just for everybody so you are aware of this, okay? So after this one is done, please come back, find the December 15th continuation show, because I think you hear Winnie knocking, and I'm not done, folks, all right? You can either open that door or I'm kicking that thing in. And frankly, it doesn't matter to me, because as long as I get inside, that's what counts. Now, I want to go back to my Facebook page. Folks, I had an individual, Nikki Rich Show. Some of you know her, some of you use her, some of you have actually had interviews with this lady. I frankly want to let you all know what this lady's about. Because of my voice and because of who and what I do, I'm able to do such a thing. And frankly, as far as I'm concerned, this morning she just committed radio suicide. I went ahead and politely, the first time, yesterday, had sent Miss Nikki a tweet asking her if she could go ahead and get that over to her people. She has a very large following. After this, I hope that she doesn't. It was a thing. We here at Armor Radio decided to set up a relief fund, okay, which now, if I wasn't doing this show, I would be on the phone with my local Chase Bank setting this up. But unfortunately, I felt the need to go ahead and broadcast ASAP. I sent everybody tweets wanting to find out if they could go ahead and spread that. Much love to every single Twitter person that retweeted my stuff. I'll just leave it at that for right now. I'll go into something else later on in the second part of the show for all my my Twitter fans and my Facebook followers. But anyway, I didn't get a response back from Miss Nikki Rich after yesterday, and didn't get a retweet, which actually kind of threw me for a loop. She's part of the media, or at least she claims to be. Really focuses on her show, her promotion, her hair and her clothing more than she really focuses on the issues at hand, okay? It's all about taking herself to Hollywood and looking glitz and glam versus actually doing any sort of real DJ work. Let's call a spade, okay? After I didn't receive a tweet back from her, after I didn't see a retweet even from her, this morning I went to Twitter and sent her a polite tweet asking her, hey, were you going to cover this? Do the students matter to you? Do the teachers matter? Do the whole school shooting matter to you? And she replied back to me, and this is verbatim, folks. Hang on here. Let me run over to my side of the page here. I'm going to repeat to you exactly word for word. You can go ahead and jump on my Facebook page and go see it for yourself. It's Armor Entertainment. Find me over at Twitter. You can see the tweet over there. Let's see here. Okay. About an hour ago I posted this, folks, so please look. It was around 9:30. And as a result of this, folks, I want you to know what this Miss Nikki Rich is all about. Because I tweeted her and because I Facebooked her and she did not approve of this, she actually had released me from her Twitter family friends, which is really no big deal. And then she released me and took me off of her friends list on Facebook, which again is no big deal. She is actually, honestly, as far as I'm concerned, by doing that, a piece of garbage and not a real part of the media. Okay, this is an actual tweet of what I received back from Miss Nikki Rich after I went ahead and, asked her whether she was going to go ahead and, comment on this or say something. I mean, this could have been my son or daughter, her kids for that matter, or any of my listeners' children's. So I didn't understand on how every media company in America covered this. And the Miss Nikki Rich Show was way too involved about what she had on for clothing and what barber shop she had to be at to do an interview with somebody instead of covering these poor kids. This is verbatim. This is back from at Miss Nikki Rich. And if y'all got anything shitty to say, I'm sorry, crappy to say to this lady, please go say it on Twitter. Add her on Facebook and let her know your thoughts, okay? I asked her, I says, at Miss Nikki Rich, are you going to cover the Sandy Hook school shooting at all or no? Just wondering. You didn't even retweet my tweet I sent you. The verbatim at Armor Radio, when and if I do, I will be sure to announce it on my radio show. When and if? How old is this already, Miss Nikki? This is like 24 plus hours almost already, and you still haven't reported on it. I myself, after about an hour and a half roughly, when it was actually brought to my attention, started tweeting, Facebook posting. I had people left and I mean, it was sickening the amount of posts. Now, should you have done the same thing? In my opinion, yes. Okay. Like I said, I'm part of the professional media, was at one time, and I will be again after this. And so the funny thing that I don't understand is how you can actually pawn this off and think that you're above these poor kids that had gotten all shot up. Okay. One of her prayers, okay, we can go ahead and really just call it exactly what it is. She knew she was being called out and then had to place on my Facebook page, and I'm going to repeat it for you folks because you're going to read it yourself, okay? From Nikki Rich, I pray for everyone. So because I have not had a show on this does not mean I care. And actually, you didn't even type it properly, Nikki, so maybe you even need to go back to school and even learn how to properly compose a sentence, I guess. My prayers and thoughts are with the families and kids. I'm a teacher, and so I know how the schools and the kids, we went through blah, 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 lockdown, but do not come on my page. Right there, folks. And that tells you flat out, okay, at Miss Nikki Rich Show did not want to be bothered with this. She wanted to look at her fake-ass blog talk radio career, okay, that she has ridden on the shirt tails of the other North Carolina, and I'm not going to bring anybody else into this, but Nikki, you know who I speak of out there in North Carolina. You ride shirt tails, okay, honey? And if it wasn't because of that individual, you sure as hell wouldn't be where you are today, all right? I am where I am because I market myself, and people love what I do. People love what you do because you want to throw on 500 different sets of clothing, and frankly, as far as I'm concerned, look pretty goofy in every pose you put out there. And that just comes from me, period. I don't care what everybody else thinks of you. Like I said, I've said it once, I'll say it twice, because of this and because of you removing me. Not that that really bothers me, because it doesn't, okay? I can slam you and ruin your career just as easy when you remove me from your Facebook page and your Twitter page. Why? Because I'm an IT professional. So, I would figure it that, hence if I really wanted to, I bring down your show on Blog Talk, okay? I'm going to call that a spade as well. Do I feel that a necessity? No, because frankly, I really gave that crap up years ago when I was told I shouldn't be doing it. The thing that does bother me is you had to be a punk, and instead of having a complete conversation about this, you want to be whiny and remove yourself off the pages, make yourself try and look good, when I'm going to keep kicking you in the head until your career is done over this, okay? You will not have a career by the time I am done with you. Whether this takes me a day, 2 weeks, a month, wow, I'm telling you right now, I've got enough stations from coast to coast that are going to put me on air, and believe me, I'm calling them all. A lot of people owe me some favors, and I have not collected in 3 years up until now, and I'm going to collect. So believe me, you're going to be on every major radio station that I can possibly get on, because I think your lack of willingness to report on this as far as every other media individual out there yesterday, and then to tell me like it's no big deal and you don't want to be bothered with something, you're a joke. You ought to take your show and just shut that thing down, all right? Because as far as I'm concerned, if you don't want if you're so caught in the motion of who and what you want to cover, and the goofy places that you are, yeah, you can say I'm not out there interviewing anybody. I ain't got to. I've already made a name for myself, honey. You're still trying, okay? That's what it boils down to, all right? I don't have to make my show look all extravagant and, updated graphics and, feel the need to put 50 different sets of clothes on and earrings and hair and blah, blah, blah. Take all that away, you'd be a nothing just like you were before you started that show, okay? Period. I know I've did my homework, okay? You are nothing but bad, all right? I don't care who you've interviewed. I don't care who you've had on your show, all right? I've had top people on mine, Busey, Adrian Curry. I've interviewed folks that you couldn't even get an email to, okay? And I've got these folks' personal phone numbers in my phone, okay? Now, before you started this goofy show, I don't know if you really cared and you concerned about everything else, but anything that really happens as far as majorly like this, you need to be covering. Period. And I think that how do I want to say this? As a sign of respect, okay, for those kids, okay? We're talking about K through 4th grade, all right? I don't see it. Where the hell is your head, okay? Now, everybody else is out there covering it. Like I said before, it doesn't necessarily mean you should have. All right? In my opinion, you needed to. Okay? Now, the number one big problem I see here, out of all of this, Nikki, is that you should have never, okay, ran your pie hole to me on Twitter or on Facebook, all right? It's not, I guess you could have handled everything in a different light, all right? You could have just got back to me and said, yo, Win, what's up? Wow, no, I haven't had the chance to get this out there. Hey, check out my show on such and such. Yeah, I'm going to cover this. I think this is a pretty big thing. But you didn't. It was like, well, when and if. If? Hello? 26 people were shot and killed. I think you hear me knocking, Nikki. And I'm coming through your front door, or your window, or through the roof. Okay? This should have been covered. All right? And for you to just come out here and be like, it's not a big deal, okay? That's a joke. And it's a joke after I went ahead and you was very surprised when I took that Twitter post and I slammed that thing on my webpage and on my Facebook page, and you freaked. Why? Because I called you out on public. That's exactly why you removed me from your friends list, and that was exactly why you removed me off off your Twitter page. Now, folks, I got about roughly about 3 minutes. I am going to fire up another show. As most of you know, I've kept it pretty relaxed and carefree and swearing free as much as I could. I do apologize for the one little blurb. And you know what? I had some actual news that I was actually going to wait until the mid-January, which was actually in my contract, and I don't really care. But we've been bought out. I've been bought out for a while. So, Miss Nikki, why don't you just go ahead and catch up, honey? Okay? Every show now that I do, I will let every single listener that listens know exactly what you've done. Now, you can either do one of two things here, and I'm only giving you two options, flat out. You can either A, return me back to your friends list on Twitter and on Facebook and chat with me like a decent human being about why you had to go ahead and not be concerned with my post or not be concerned about the fun that we set up for these people. And in my opinion, not be really wanted to be bothered with all of this stuff that, like I said, just doesn't make sense to me. Because I guarantee you, if it was your children that were part of that shooting, you would have fired up a show right away. Well, contingent upon the fact that you were back, and da-da-da. But I guarantee you, somebody from your camp would have been on mic while you were up there at that school. So I want you to re-add me. I want to talk about this. We can either do this nicely or daily. As far as I am concerned, I'm going to run you to the floor until the Miss Nikki Rich Show has not even a viable leg to stand on. Okay? Now, yeah, you can say, oh, DJ Wonder Bread is only on Spreaker. Well, you know what? That's because there's two people here running my entire show. And frankly, I don't feel the need to go ahead and gank and rob other people to try and go ahead and get airtime and promotion and charge them to play music, okay? Which, by the way, Miss Nikki, is illegal. Did you hear that word? We do not engage in the illegal practice of charging artists to play their music. No FM station does either. Maybe you ought to get a real clue on how the FM world or internet radio world actually works. Then come back, sit back in your little high chair, and then try to actually keep up with the rest of us that actually do know what the hell's going on out here. Okay? When I come back on this next show, I'm going to inform everybody who currently has bought us out, what we are now going to be about, the tracks that we are now going to play, I may get in trouble with our new owners, but hey, that's fine. I've got a check. That thing's already cleared, and frankly, I've got a contract. So if they break my contract, they're going to owe me a nice chunky $25,000. So in that side, I doubt this is really a great big issue to them or me. Frankly, it's a local business right here in Spring Hill, whom has heard of me before and has listened to our show. And folks, just in case I get kicked off here, I don't know if Spreaker's going to, you guys might be listening back over there at Spreaker. And if you're allowing me to continue this broadcast, guys, I love you. Thank you very much. Maybe y'all can come in here to my chat board, and if you guys do want to go ahead and shut me down, please just let me know through the chat. I'll log off and I'll start a new show for you folks. But I'm going to keep broadcasting until they go ahead and clip me. So folks, when you do not hear my voice anymore, please feel free. Come back and just look for the second December 15th show. I'm actually kind of surprised that they're continuing to let me broadcast, which means that I do have a Spreaker rep somewhere listening to me. So out to Spreaker. Thanks, guys. Thanks, ladies. Whoever's on the other side.